Imagine looking up at the sky and seeing absolutely no planes, no contrails, no distant engines, nothing. On a cold day in January 2024, this became reality over El Paso, Texas. The Federal Aviation Administration issued an immediate ground stop, halting all air traffic in and out of El Paso International Airport. The reason? An unidentified object in the airspace that military officials deemed a potential national security threat. The closure lasted several hours, leaving thousands of passengers stranded and aircraft grounded on the tarmac. But here's what makes this incident fascinating. It wasn't an isolated event. It happened during a period when North America was experiencing an unprecedented wave of aerial object detections, forcing us to confront serious questions about our airspace security and what's really flying above our heads. Let's start with what actually happened that day. On January 22, 2024, North American Aerospace Defense Command, known as NORAD, detected an object in El Paso's airspace. Unlike commercial aircraft, this object wasn't transmitting standard identification signals. It wasn't following known flight patterns, and it appeared on military radar systems in ways that raised immediate red flags. The response was swift and decisive. NORAD scrambled fighter jets to intercept and identify the object. The FAA implemented what's called a ground stop, one of the most serious actions aviation authorities can take. Every flight scheduled to depart stayed on the ground. Every flight approaching El Paso was diverted to alternative airports. The airspace became a no-fly zone except for military aircraft. Now, you might wonder why El Paso specifically matters in this story. The city sits at a critical junction. It's right on the United States-Mexico border, making it strategically sensitive. The nearby Fort Bliss is one of the largest military installations in the country. White Sands Missile Range, where countless defense tests occur, is just over 100 miles away. This isn't just any airspace. It's some of the most monitored and protected sky in North America. What happened next reveals how our integrated defense systems actually work. NORAD, a joint American-Canadian operation, coordinated with multiple agencies simultaneously. The FAA managed civilian air traffic. Customs and Border Protection deployed resources. Local law enforcement was alerted. The military maintained air superiority. All of this happened within minutes of the initial detection. But here's where the story gets more intriguing. Officials never provided complete details about what the object was. Initial reports suggested it might have been a high-altitude balloon. Others speculated about drones. Some wondered if it was debris from space operations. The lack of definitive answers fueled intense speculation and reminded everyone of similar incidents that had occurred just months earlier. Remember February 2023? That's when a Chinese surveillance balloon crossed the entire continental United States before being shot down off the Carolina coast. That incident changed everything about how we monitor our skies. It exposed gaps in our detection systems. It revealed that objects had been crossing our airspace for years, without proper identification or response. After that balloon incident, the military adjusted radar systems to detect slower-moving objects at various altitudes. Previously, these systems filtered out such targets to reduce clutter and focus on fast-moving threats like missiles or aircraft. But balloons, drones, and other slow objects were slipping through unnoticed. The new sensitivity settings meant detecting far more objects than before. This is crucial to understanding the El Paso closure. We weren't necessarily seeing more objects in our skies. We were finally seeing what had always been there. Weather balloons, amateur high-altitude projects, commercial drones operating beyond their authorized zones, and yes, potentially foreign surveillance equipment. The economic impact of airspace closures is staggering. Every hour that El Paso's airspace remained closed cost airlines hundreds of thousands of dollars. Passengers missed connections, business meetings were canceled, and cargo shipments were delayed. The ripple effects extended far beyond El Paso itself, affecting flight schedules across the entire national network. But there's a bigger picture here about airspace management. The United States airspace is divided into different classes, each with specific rules and requirements. Class A covers the high altitudes where commercial jets fly. Class B surrounds major airports. The system gets more complex from there. When an unidentified object appears, controllers must determine which class it's in, what threat it poses, and how to respond. The challenge is that our airspace is incredibly busy. On any given day, more than 45,000 flights operate in United States airspace. That's roughly 5,000 aircraft in the sky at any moment. Air traffic controllers manage this ballet of metal and fuel with remarkable precision. Adding unidentified objects to this equation creates enormous complexity. NORAD's role in protecting this airspace dates back to 1958, born from Cold War fears of Soviet bombers. Today, it monitors everything from space satellites to sea-level incursions. The organization uses a network of ground-based radars, satellite systems, and airborne early warning aircraft. When something unusual appears, protocols kick in immediately. Those protocols involve threat assessment matrices that consider multiple factors. Is the object maneuverable? What's its altitude and speed? Is it emitting signals? Where did it originate? Where is it heading? Each answer shapes the response. A weather balloon drifting harmlessly requires different action than a potentially hostile drone. The El Paso incident also highlighted coordination challenges between civilian and military authorities. The FAA operates under different rules and priorities than the Department of Defense. Balancing public safety, national security, and economic interests requires constant communication and clear command structures. What did we learn from El Paso's airspace closure? First, our detection systems are working better than ever. We're identifying objects that previously went unnoticed. Second, our response protocols can shut down airspace quickly when needed. Third, we still face significant challenges in rapidly identifying what these objects actually are. The incident also sparked important conversations about transparency. How much should the public know about airspace threats? When does national security justify withholding information? These aren't easy questions, but they're essential as we navigate an era where our skies contain more objects than ever before. Today, El Paso's airspace operates normally. Flights arrive and depart on schedule, but the systems monitoring that airspace remain on high alert. The lessons learned continue shaping how we protect the skies above our heads. And every aviation professional knows that what happened in El Paso could happen anywhere, anytime. The next time you're on a flight, remember this. Between you and the ground are layers of technology, protocols, and people working to keep that airspace safe and organized. The El Paso closure reminded us that this system, while remarkably robust, faces evolving challenges in an age of new aerial technologies and persistent security concerns.